What makes a planet retrograde? Which planets can be retrograde? Why is this worth noting? What does this mean for us personally? Which planets will be retrograde this end of 2022, and how can we use these periods constructively? These are all questions I shall be answering here today. Bonjour, Michelle Karen, an astrologer since the age of 14. I hold a diploma from the London Faculty of Astrological Studies, as well as a master's degree in philosophy from the University of Geneva, Switzerland, on the role of archetypes in the works of Carl Gustav Jung. The author of Astrology for Enlightenment, published by Simon & Schuster, New York, as well as the Attuned to the Quantum Oracle deck, links down below. I was selected to be the exclusive astrologer to the stars at the 78th Academy Awards in Hollywood. A planet is said to be retrograde when it appears to go backwards in the sky against the background of the fixed stars. Of course, this does not actually happen. It is an optical illusion caused by the relative velocity of the planets with regard to the Earth's revolution around the Sun. The slow planets, Jupiter and Saturn, as well as the even slower ones, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, are retrograde for several months every year. Mercury, which is a little faster, is retrograde about 5 times a year, each for shorter periods of about 3 weeks. Venus and Mars are more rarely retrograde, and the luminaries, the Sun and the Moon, are never retrograde, since the Sun's apparent motion is, of course, caused by us, the movement of the Earth around the Sun, and the Moon's orbit around 28 days around the Earth is faster than our own movement. When a planet is retrograde, the principles it represents start working inwardly rather than outwardly. And then there is what is called a shadow period, which is a period after the retrograde planet has been stationary and goes direct again, when it reaches the exact same degree it became retrograde on. During that period of time, we may still feel some lingering effects of the retrogradation, not as severe but fleeting. As I said, the most famous is Mercury retrograde, which is never much liked and even blamed for everything that goes wrong. Mercury is the planet of communication and small trips. When Mercury is retrograde, this messes up all our exchanges with others. There are lost emails, missed phone calls, misunderstandings, people change their mind, we miss appointments. Usually technology breaks down, so this is definitely not a good time to install new software or buy a computer. We may miss a flight, schedules get mixed up, there are train bus delays, etc., etc. But contrarily to many, I personally love Mercury retrograde periods because they always bring the unexpected. These are times when an abandoned project that had been collecting dust on the shelf comes back to the forefront, when people we hadn't heard from forever reemerge, when we return to a place we hadn't been to in a long time, reawakening many old memories. And while the pace of life becomes more chaotic because of all the uninvited distractions and shifts and turns, it is also in a way more peaceful, inviting us to reflect and tap into our inner intellectual resources and remember what we had forgotten. The next time Mercury will be retrograde is from September 9 to October 2nd, 2022, between 9 degrees Libra and 24 degrees Virgo. Mars will also turn retrograde on October 30th till January 12, 2023, from 26 degrees to 8 degrees Gemini. More on those two specific retrogradations in two other videos closer to their dates. Now, the other retrograde planets we have this end of year 2022: Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, and last but not least, Uranus. Pluto retrograde is the longest retrogradation. It became retrograde on April 29, 2022 at exactly 28 degrees 36 minutes Capricorn, and will remain retrograde until October 7, 2022 at 26 degrees 07 Capricorn. So a little over 5 months. This is a time of profound transformation. On the collective level, far-reaching corruptions are emerging. The inner workings of satanic societies, ritual murders, child trafficking, everything having to do with pornography, sex, slavery, domestic violence is being revealed. On a personal level, we are being asked to face our darkest emotions. Traumatic past experiences could be brought back to the surface. Relationship issues could appear. We need to question everything, reassess our power, our relationship to people in positions of authority, our communications with others, the information we receive from all sources. It is essential that we face our dark shadow, discern between good habits and those that no longer serve us or maybe never did. It is important that we release a toxic relationship, an obsessive compulsion, prejudices, a hunger for power, addictions to alcohol, drugs, violence, or sex. This is a very good time for a physical cleanse and letting go. Breaking those old ways of being down, understanding fully how they negatively affected us, helps us move forward and reach spiritual mastery. Pluto's shadow period will remain until January 30th, 2023. Now, Saturn became retrograde on June 4th, 2022 at exactly 25 degrees 15 Aquarius, and will remain retrograde until October 22nd at 18 degrees 35 Aquarius. These 5 months are extremely karmic. Either we have done our inner work and received many rewards, or we haven't. And this is going to be an excessively difficult period, requiring much self-analysis, rigor, and patience. We may find that we have more work, fears, restrictions, responsibilities, and obligations. Projects may be delayed, obstacles could arise. We could become even distrustful of relationships. We are likely to need to make major choices that will affect our future for many years to come. And it is important that we decide where and what we wish to invest work and energy in. Once we are clear on our goals, we need to stay super focused, super structured, be quite demanding of ourselves, and act with maturity and responsibility. Saturn's shadow period will extend until January 27, 2023. Jupiter turned retrograde on July 28, 2022 at 8 degrees 45 minutes Aries, and will remain so until November 22nd at 28 degrees 48 minutes Pisces, so a little less than 4 months. Issues regarding the church and education are coming into sharp focus. Our integrity is being questioned. How honest are we with ourselves? How much do we walk our talk? Whom do we place our faith in? What do we trust? How optimistic are we? How have our life lessons made us a better person? As much of the world around us is unraveling, this is our chance to not just dream, but manifest the world we want into being. We are required to rethink our objectives, our choices, re-examine our motivations, our values, and our beliefs. We need also there to question everything and find our truth. This may mean experiencing some frustrations or even anger and may necessitate a clean break. At this juncture, we are required to find a deeper meaning of our lives in order to start anew on a much sounder basis. The shadow period of Mercury lasts until February 14, 2023. Neptune became retrograde on June 28 at 25:27 Pisces and will remain retrograde until December 3rd at 22 degrees 39 minutes Pisces, so a little more than 5 months. We have already witnessed the amount of confusion that is reigning in the world. It is difficult to differentiate what is true from the lies and the fabricated stories. Instability, doubt, smoke screens seem to be permeating everything. Basically, what is true is said to be false, while the lies are made to look as truth. Concerns over water, its pollution, its scarcity, or excesses, because there's been also floods, are emerging all over the planet. On a personal level, we could become overly sensitive to crowds, noise, anger, could feel quite fragile emotionally. This retrogression reveals also the pains we have been trying to drown in drugs, alcohol, daydreaming, or various escapism mechanisms. And the gradual dissolution of our fantasy world, whether it is in our love life, our career prospects, or our attitude towards money, is forcing us to face betrayals, phobias, fears, anxieties, humiliations, and the places where we may have sunk into victimhood. So it is essential that we realize that true clarity only comes from within by focusing on true dreams, true hopes, true aspirations. And it is when we trust in our deeper spiritual power, follow our intuition, are grounded enough in physical reality to do the hard work, that we can manifest our visions. Neptune's shadow period remains until March 28, 2023. Uranus turned retrograde on August 24, 2022 at 18 degrees 55 Taurus and will be retrograde until January 22, 2023 at 14 degrees 57 Taurus. Uranus is normally very unpredictable, even more so during its retrogression. On a global level, there are major shifts regarding how we make money. See all the social media influencers sprouting left and right. Breakdowns in the financial system, banks and paper money disappearing, for example, while digital currencies are on the rise, and the beginning of food scarcity. Surprising upheavals are happening almost overnight. Conflicts are escalating at record speed within talks of a new world order, threatening our very security and our freedom. People are standing together to fight for the respect of human rights. And as we are realizing how much we have used and abused nature, the way we are viewing Earth and her resources is also shifting dramatically. For example, many are starting to find ways of being self-sufficient by growing their own vegetable garden or planting fruit trees. On a personal level, we need to look at our lives differently. We are not returning to the reality we had a few years ago. We need to make changes in our lives, sometimes quite drastic, but also very liberating in both our relationships and our career. An unexpected breakup or a sudden coming together, losing a job, moving, are quite common occurrences when Uranus is retrograde. As we raise our consciousness, we need to follow our own path, and that could make us also rebel. But as we embrace our individuality, become more authentic, we're able to create a freer, newer reality. The shadow period of Uranus remains until the 9th of May 2023. If you are already subscribed, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please put a thumbs up, consider subscribing, hitting that bell to be notified when I upload a new video, usually once a week. Your comments are most appreciated. If there is any topic you would like me to develop, please let me know in the discussion section down below. Remember, as always, choose your battles, walk in beauty. Thank you for watching. Until next time.